Already so far we can it is a new aspect and it is multi disciplinary also. It is connected with the physics, nanophysics, connected with the chemistry, nanochemistry, and connected with the biology, nanobiology. So in this so after this in scientist whose name is Feynman in 1959. So he given the well platform to us in that studying of under the nano sizes of the particles. So of course we have discussed already of this the heavy metals like gold. It is inactive and it is not react with any of these uh, any of the reactors, but make it nanoparticles of this immediately it is a catalytic active change of its colors. So every of its bulk characteristic features are going to change. So that type of the particles we call it as nanoparticles. You mind it in that. So those type of is only required to us to study. If we are changing the size from angstrom to the nanometer, it don't exhibit any of its characteristic features. We won't call it as a nanotechnology, nanoscience, because it won't exhibit. So far the definition for this nanoscience or nanotechnology is the nanoparticle of any material can exhibit distinguished characteristic features with compare with the bulk. Distinguished characteristic means novel or it is a superior characteristic features also. So we can understand that in that given the examples are copper become transparent and in the angstrom side it is a opaque, it is a metal, so it is not a glass. But the under this 10 to the 9 meter nanoparticle at the time it is transparent. Gold become catalytically active and aluminum become it is a combustible. The combustible metals are soft metal, sodium, potassium, calcium, like that. It is supporting to this burning also. It is a emission and getting excited. But the other metals are not soft metals. It is not possible to combustion. But you make it into this, these varying of its size from angstrom or picometer or femtometer, octometer, any of these sizes is changing into these 10 to the power of 9 meter, that is a nanoparticle size at the time exhibit of aluminum is combustible. So like this remarkable or special or any of these novel or superior characteristic features of 10 to the power of minus 9 particles exhibit that particles we can call it as nanoparticles. That science we can call it as a nanoscience. So in this what type of the characteristic which is going to changing. Of course in this angstrom to this nanometer it's changing of its structure also, changing of its electronic structure also. What is this electronic structure? So at the time of the it is acting as a catalyst or it is acting as absorbing optical activity. In that optical activity, it is absorbing of the light in the at angstrom nature. It is different. You converting into as nanoparticle at the time is absorbing light is different, emitting light is different. So far, this electronic structure is changed, arrangement of atoms, molecules are changed, it got energy. So when it is increasing of its size, absorbing of some energy to that, it's storing the energy. And when it is in the nanoparticle size, it is given to us also. It is very helpful to us. If it is catalytically inactive, also making it is catalytically very active, and chemical reactivity is also changed. So not only these characteristic features, other characteristic features also, whether it is a surface area or it is electrical property or optical property, thermal property, mechanical property, catalytic property. So any other whatever the characteristic features of basic metals are there, almost all 99% going to be changed. It is a modified one. So because of you converted from angstrom to the nano. One it is a angstrom means it is one hydrogen atom. You will taking the example in the nanometer. You will taking the example of 10 hydrogen atom size, that is 1 nanometer. 1 to 100 nanometer, any particles are there, those are nanoparticles. And studying those, we can call it as a nanoscience or nanotechnology. In this optical surface area, so when you taking this one block of 1 cubic meter, so it is converting into as nanoparticle size, and you can cut down into this one nanometer size of the cubics. You can getting the total number is 10 to the power of 27 cubics, you will get it. Suppose this 1 cubic meter is slicing into wafering into this, you can into this 20 or 9 sizes, you can made it. At the time you can get the two-dimensional structure of 6,000 square kilometer spread. You can imagine it is a wonderful characteristic in this optica, that is a surface area too much of increasing, but everything is you can covered, so it is constitute and agglomerate immediately you can get as a 1 cubic meter size of the metals. So in that you will take the example of that is a is gold. You can make it cut down into this 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Instead of the gold color, it become a ruby red. The color is ruby red. So and all the characteristic features also going to change. That is a surface area property. In that electrical property, when it is increasing of the size, automatically it creates in the metals why the electrons are passing, how it is conductor is one free electrons are there, it is easily passing from one atom to another atom, because the atomic orbitals are billions and millions of number is overlapping to each other, easily passing from one to other. If we can increasing its area, a surface area, automatically the between the two atoms either the gap as forbidden zone has created, so immediately the metal become either semiconductor or insulator. Due to this increasing of surface area, so it has got it the electrical, the conductor become semiconductor also or become insulator also, it has happened. As the same way in these optical properties, so surface plasma resonance, because when it is absorb the light from monochromatic light at the time, so it is converting into as nanoparticle, it is absorbed the different wavelength light also. At the time this moving front and back of vibrations, so it is the emission light is also different, that we can call it as a we can call it as a optical properties. In that thermal properties, changing of its thermal capacity, changing of its thermal expansion, changing of its what we call it as a conductivity, so and changing of its um, stress also. If it is under the condition of the stress, it is removed also. So in that it is we can conducting, increasing the temperature by 1 or 2 degrees centigrade in the conductors, it is automatically in the room temperature only, it can excellently conduct and as given. The storing capacity is also it is increasing, as the same way the other characteristic features also going to changing. So in this case, if you taking the examples of in the catalytic activity, so at the time the gold nanoparticles are highly active, and in that highly active, immediately due to the increase of surface area, then it is the increasing of uh, increasing of its surface area. The other reactions is going fast also, so it is removing of that is what we can call it as other subsidiary, we can call it as byproducts also, we can easily remove. And recycling of catalytes also, it is easily we can do it, it is a more advantageous for us. So it is studying under these nanometers. So far we want to decide it as to synthesis of nano particles by these two approaches are there. One is already you know it, top down methods, another one is a bottom up methods. So in these top down methods, you can taking into a bulk of the materials or any sizes of these elements or materials, you going to cut down. So cut down into this, coming to this millimeters, coming to the micrometer, coming to the nanometer, angstrom, picometer, like this. So for these type of these cut down of cutting of metals or any substances, we are using this some sophisticated instruments. The costly instruments might be, we can call it as a sputtering or pulsed laser deposition or laser ablation, high ball milling, electric arc method, nanolithography, and ion beam implantation. More than this also, number of costly instruments are there. In that costly instrument, supposed to use it also, you get it as a nanoparticle sizes. In this nanoparticle sizes, uh, but the problems are there. It is one is much of costly. It is damaging to this nanolithography, that is crystalline structure of these particles. Immediately that crystal has defected, its size is different. It is below to that, it is not acting as it is not showing off its different versatile characteristic features under the nanoparticles. As the same way, the third one is, if you done it, it is a contaminations. For all these very remarkable reasons, we have to better to following up the next approaches is a bottom up approach. So in this bottom up approach, it is already we have started in the labs also, taking the atoms, ions, molecules, that is the powders, we making into this solvent, dissolve the solutes at the time. So we can growing up. It is modification from this angstrom, picometer, nanometer, optometer, femtometer. Any of the sizes of the atoms, molecules, or even crystals, we are going to changing into the 10 to the minus 9 meter. That is nanoparticle size. So this bottom up approach is having the versatile characteristic feature, and it is not contaminated, and it is having this aspect ratio. Aspect ratio means length divided by width. We can getting the good result more than 10. So aspect ratio is more than 10 pm. So that is a very good also. It is versatile also, not contamination also, not damaging of crystalline structure also. The number of advantages are more, and its economics also easy also. Everything has to be fine. So for why do you taking of the risk to synthesize the nanoparticles from the top down method? So we have selected the bottom up methods for preparation of the synthesis of nanoparticles. So in this synthesis of nanoparticles, the number of methods are there. Those are Sol-Gel method, second one is precipitation method, third one is gas inert gas method, chemical condensation method, chemical vapor deposition method, so hydrolysis method, pyrolysis method, like this number of other methods are also there, but it is required for us due to this instruction of the university, only three of there it is enough for us. In those first one is a sol gel method. In that sol gel method, second one is a precipitation method, and third one is a chemical vapor deposition method. So first one is sol gel method, second one is precipitation method, third one is chemical vapor deposition method, not the condensation. No, chemical vapor CVC is different, CVD is different. So far, so in these three is enough for us to a synthesis of nanomaterials. In that, first I have selected sol gel method. So in this sol gel methods, before go to that, so it is one diagram is there. We have taken the atoms, the what is the atom? It is the smallest particles, so cannot be again divisible also. In that is the accommodation, or what we call it as coagulations of atoms are the making into the clusters. clusters become the coagulation of this cluster forming into as a nanoparticles. The coagulation of nanoparticles becomes we can call it as a powders. The powder is the fourth stage, the making into the bulk, making into the monolith, making into this single rock, making into the ceramics. It is the fifth stage. It is at the time of this molding, whatever one you can get it after the powder, you can do it. So in this stage, first we have to select it of in this Sol-Gel method, synthesis of nanomaterials. So for this, first we have taken selection of this any of the method. Selection of the precursors are so much important because it should be solvated. So under the room temperature, it should be stable. Under in this any reaction stages also, it should be stable. It should not be react with the moistures. Suppose it is going to the moisture react with the moisture, it is moisture sensitive. At the time, it should not be getting the good result at the time of synthesis. Afterwards, the uses of the nanomaterials also, it is not more advantage for us also. So selection of the precursors means synthesis of the other compounds from the individual compounds, from any compounds, we can call it as a precursors. It means starting of the experiment. It is a starting of synthesis of other materials. For this, you can taking into as a alkoxides, alcohol, alkoxides in metals, the metals like aluminum alkoxide, zinc alkoxides, zirconium alkoxides, titanium alkoxides. So any other these type of these alkoxides metals, you have alkoxides you have selected. So after you have to selected, it is dissolved. It is dissolved in 1 liter of DM water, that is demineralized water. For this purposes, we are using the water is also very important and very essential. Otherwise, it is any contaminations are there. So it is automatically, if the contaminated nanoparticles are useless for us. So far we have to using either by double or triple distilled water, we have to taken to dissolving of the salts, dissolving of the salts in the we have taken the given salt, dissolving the DM water. So that is kept aside, followed by it is hydrated also. So then it is any of these precipitation agents. For example, in this precipitation agent, what do you know about of these precipitations? So you have taken this in 100 ml of water in both the containers. It is dissolved in one is a 10 or 100 grams of sodium chloride, and in another one is 100 grams of AgNO3, silver nitrates also. Both these solutions are dissolved solution, true solution. So why this we can call it as a dissolved or true solutions means, you cannot any of the mechanical methods you can use it, you cannot separate it as sodium chloride, or even through filters, some physical methods. So far it is chemical changes also, as well as it is true solution also, because it is it's dissolved sizes of the particles in the solution. In the solution is either angstrom or picometer or femtometer or attometer or zicod, zepto or ecto, whatever else, except of this nanometer size. Suppose it is in this, if it is in the nanometer particle size, you won't call it as a it is solution. You call it as a colloidal solution. So far, we have given the three examples. In one beaker, taking this 100 ml of double distilled water. Another beaker you can containing same 100 ml of double distilled water, and third one is also double distilled water contains. In that first one you can add 10 or 20 grams of sodium chloride. Second one you can add 10 or 20 grams of ferrous hydroxides or perchlorides also, or acetates also, whatever you can add it. And third one you can add 10 grams of any types of the soils. You can everyone to stir it. So first one is completely dissolved. Second one is not dissolved, it is dispersed. the ferric oxides are dispersed, not dissolved. So at the time, what we can do it as a we can call it as a it is a colloidal solution. Third one is completely stirred at the time. Whatever the color of the soil is going to be changed, and it is you can leave it all these three 10 to 20 minutes. So everything is clear in terms. First is solution. What do you call it as? Solute is completely dissolved. Its sizes of solute in the solution is less than that of the 10 to the minus 10 meter. It is either angstrom or picometer or femtometer, attometer, or even of the jecto or epto. So in this second one is, so in the first one we call it as a it's a solution, true solution. Complete solute is dissolved. So in that you can passing the any hand touch monochromatic light, the completely incident light is emitted from the other side. There is no scattering of light, so you can decide it as labeled as a, this is the true solution. Second one is you passing the same starch, but light is scattered because of instead of particles dissolved in the solution. Which particles are there? Ferrous hydroxides or any of the hydroxides, some of the metals, it is not completely dissolved. What happened in that? It is dispersed because the solute sizes in that solvent is dispersed. Only sizes is 10 to the minus 9 meter. That is particle size is nano size. So for the light is scattered, you can call it as it is a sol colloidal solution, or also call it as a sol. The third one is the completely soil is decanted, settled down at the bottom. So that third one is we can call it as a suspension. Completely dissolved solution. So colloidal solution, sol has formed, you can call it as sol or colloidal solution. It is afterwards all the particles are settled down on the bottom. That is, we can call it as the suspension. Now, for this sol gel method, so name of it is sol become gel. So what is sol? Instead of we are prepare the solution, we can prepare this a colloidal solution. If not prepare the colloidal solution also, you make into the colloidal solution by hydrolysis of some of these ethoxide, metal ethoxides. You can dissolve in this 100 or 1 liter of DM water. So afterwards it is a dissolved. So you can check with this and touch whether it is a solution or salt. So that you can add some other reactants to become it is increasing the reactiveness also, reactions also, and followed by dehydration also. So if it is any of this, you can add the water, the salt become whether it is solute is completely dissolved or it is colloidal solutions, both we can consider. In that removing of this water, it is dehydration process, it is adding of by salts. So in that salt should not disturbing these sizes of the particles, or should not disturbing the what you have taken the samples or precursors. This is we are definitely using the term is precursor. It is free from all damages, all crystal salvated crystal damages should be free from all these things. Characteristic features we have used. Then it is in starting of the reaction. So it is sol means the solute is dispersed in the solvent. One word, solute is dispersed in the solvent, we can call it as a sol. So that is look like afterwards some reactions taken place. It is reversed to that. What is that? The solvent is dispersed in the solute, we can call it as a gel. In that solutes having the net grid structure, mesh structures, some net structure as formed. So because of due to this some reactions, that is we can call it as a polymerizations of monomers. in these polymerizations of monomers. What is this process of polymerization? The joining of the monomers forming into the gained molecules, we can call it as polymerization. These are two types. One is additional polymerization, another one is condensation polymerization. In this addition polymerization, how many monomers are there? How many precursors are there going to joining with each other, forming into a net structure? Of course, if it is other along with this formation of the net structure, if it is released one water molecules by two monomers, that is we can call it as a condensation polymerization. So it is releasing of the water. So it is releasing of the water, forming to the net structure. So we can call it as a gel. So this gel, we can separate it, filter it, and taking out. So then it is making into the aerosol using some any of the other reactants you can add up, removing of water droplets on the surface, or wherever this minute holes are there in that gel, you can remove that. Removing of water molecules or moistures from the gel, we can become it is acting as become it is we can call it as a aerogel. That is the removing of water content from that. So again it is in any of these traces of water molecules are there, moisture is there, again by removing by any of the methods of sputting or any other methods, removing that aerogel become making into as a zero gel. You can adding of some surfactants, natural surfactants are also there. These are the chemicals to removing of the water and forming into as a foam without under straining of these gel molecules, that we can call it as a zero gel. So you can getting into as zero gel. So then it is a calcination. Calcination means that you can collect it that zero gel, and you can heat up to this its melting point. Heat up to this its melting point, all whatever the impurities are there in the substance, in the substrate, completely evaporated. Whatever it is in the crucible, that you can collect it and mold it into, whether it is in the whether it is in the ceramics manner or in the crucible manner, whatever you want, you can desire desirable your selections, you can mold it. So this is one type. So before that, after farming into as a sal, so at the time you can separate it, you can filter it, and so using of some other adding of some chemicals, you can getting of coagulation. You adding the coagulations agents. So what you can learn in the water chemistry, the coagulation agents of peroxide, oxide, or even alum, potash alum, aluminum alum, you can add it. Immediately the colloidal particles are settled at the bottom, forming into the precipitation. The precipitation means creating this news, creating the solids from the dissolved solution. So that is, you can get it afterwards, make it twisting and calcin. So calcination, heating up to this its melting point, then you can collected the samples precursors, that is making, we can call it as a powder. Otherwise before to that, you can using any of the substrate, the collection of this precursor, that is a salts on the substrate, you can using any of this twisting or spinning or doping. Spinning means it is a technique to twisting of removing the water molecules from water molecules from that substrates, water molecules from samples or precursors, then it is making subjected to the calcination. So you can making into the films, small scale, thin films. So for this, so you can synthesis of a sol gel method, whether you making into the ceramics or making into the powders or making into the thin films. So this process you have to follow. So far, so this salt gel method having 5 to 6 stages. One is um, preparation of salt. Whatever the alkoxides you have taken, dissolved in the water, you directly taking the salt, it is a solution. So along with these ethoxides, eth of metals, aluminum, zirconium, any of these ethoxides of that metals, immediately it has forming into the salt. That is dispersed of solutes in the water. Then it is changing into the gel. That process we can call it as gelation. That is, you add some other reactants. The water molecules is separated from that salt, making into the net structure. So that net structure is you can showing in the reactions also, and diagrams also we can call it as a gelation. So followed by the next stage is aging of the gel. Gel has formed. It is a net structure of a solute in the solvent. At the time, the solute, the solvent is dispersed in the solute. So it means the gel molecules containing some water droplets on its surfaces, by syneresis, or it is aging of the gel. It is definitely having stabilization to settled. It should not be reacted with the moisture. So at the time we are allowed to this polycondensation having some polymerization chemicals, immediately making into as net structure, and ready to byproduct is giving us a number of water molecules. So this is done it for up to the 8 to 7 days. Finally you can get it as a aged gel. So it contains moisture also. It contains another some what we can call it as a, some other counter ions also it is there. Here the counter ions in the reactions what we have shown, it is MOR. M means metal, so O means oxides, metal oxides. So R means aliphatic. It is ethyl profile. What is this? Any of the aliphatic ethoxides metals react with the water, forming into this metal alcohol, metal containing of ethoxides and alcohol. That alcohol you can separate it automatically. Then you will taking into as a metal hydroxides and metal hydroxide and metal alkoxide. They are allowed to this reacting, forming into as metal oxide metal. So completely any of the alcohols are even going to separated. Any of the impurities are impurities in terms either other counter ions are there in the aging of the gel. You can removing everything. Finally you can get it as a gel. So in this gel, so make it dry or removing of any solvent portion is there. You can do it as a, heating. So only process is in all the remaining process is heat treatment. So drying means also same heating, or you can removing of solvent is also same. It is another name of the drying of gel. In that heating of this gel, automatically can applying this surfactants also, making that gel into the aerogel. So because in this where the water space is there in the gel, removing of that water space and fill the gas, we can call it as a aerogel. So followed by you can do it for hours together also. First of the 50% is automatically evaporation of water, followed by it takes the critical condition, more critical conditions, then it is finally you can getting as the gel. So at the time that you can confirm, you can eating for up to this more than 500 degrees centigrades also, almost all the counter ions are evaporated. At this drying of the gel, any of the OH hydroxides are there, that is also it is evaporated. Then that aerogel become the zero gel. In this zero gel is then only the conversion into as monolith. Monolith means it is a single stoned erected rock. It is making into as whether if you want to make it powder, or if you want to make it crucible, or if you want to make it ceramics, or if you want to make it as a thin film. So at the time completely dehydrated. So almost all these counter ions are passed, and it is make it contractions also. At the time of contractions, it should not damaging the crystalline structure of the gel. So that we call it as a sinterings also, or syneresis also you can call it. Both are same. you can heat it up to the 800 degrees centigrade, and it is continued that dehydration is over, and confirmation of disinfections also, decompositions of any counter ions, you can continue up to this 1000 degrees centigrade. Finally you can collect the sample. That sample is a that metal is under the sizes of nano sizes. This is, we can call it as a nanoparticles or nanomaterials of any of the metal. If you are selecting the metal of iron, selecting the metal of copper, selecting the metal of aluminum, or selecting the metal of any others also, we can easily synthesis or manufacturing of metal ions. So this is the things what we have done it. So this is, I think, so for this, any of the doubts are there, you can ask me either now or after the classes also, you can ask me. So immediately try to solve your doubts. uh, in this we can confirm. So in this first method is salt gel method. For all these any methods, prepare the selection of the precursors, starting at the initiation of the salts, whether it is a metal salts, or metal hydroxides, oxides, whatever else you have to select it, it is free from all to under the 200% free from all contaminants. It is salvated, stabilized under the room temperature at the reaction, or in this any of the times of gelation, aging, drying, we can eating of pyrolysis, any of this we can do it. It should not disturbing or decomposition of its structure from nanoparticles. So those type of the compounds, those type of the reagents you have to select it. You selected the double and triple distilled water. It means not even 0.0001 ppm of impurities of water also should not select it. So far at a time you can select it, and you can synthesize preparation of the cell, making into the gel, aging of gel, drying of gel, heat treatment, continuation, decomposition of the counter ions. Finally you will get it as a very excellent 200% confidence of nanomaterials you can get it. So this is the sol gel method synthesis of nanomaterials. The second one is, I think all of you understand. I might go to this next method is a precipitation method. So in this precipitation method is name itself indicate. So what is this what is the precipitation? Already I have given the example to you. You are taking the two dissolved in one beaker containing sugar ash dissolved. Another one is this sodium chloride is dissolved. You can taking the sodium chloride dissolved solution, and you will take the silver nitrate is dissolved solution. You mixed both of those. Finally sodium chloride has formed, and sodium nitrate has formed, and AgCl is also formed. The sodium nitrate is in the liquid status, but the AgCl is getting the solids. The formation of solid, creation of the solids from the dissolved status of the solution, dissolved status of the solvents, we can call it as the precipitation. So this method we have to follow the preparation or the synthesis of nanoparticles, nanomaterials. So that method we can call it as a precipitation method. For this type of precipitation methods, so we have to follow this. First is our priorities is selections of the precursors. In that, of course, 200 are the three times 300 times of distilled water. Again, enter ಕೊಡಪ್ಪ.
ಮಾಡಲು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಳಿ ಸಮರ್ಪಕ
ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ ನಮ್ಮ ನೀವು ಮಾಡೋದು ಇರಪ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ. In this second method, second method is a precipitation method. So name itself indicates you prepare the precipitates. So for this precipitation, you can get it as hydrates compounds. So metal hydrates, whether you can take it into as aluminum hydrates, say Al2 H2O 3 plus and ferrous hydroxides, ferrous hydrated. So that is you have to select it, or even you can taking into this zinc also, zinc hydrated. That is what we can call it as a cation precursors. So anion precursors also you have selected. There is for precipitation method. So there are there are we can getting into as anions and cations. So cations are metal hydrates. The anions are metal nitrates, metal chlorides, metals oxides. So these are the anion solutions is also there. Cations solutions is also there. So it is along with one precipitating agent. You will take it as sodium hydroxide or sodium carbonate or ammonium hydroxides. You have selected. So first, so you confirmations of this is 100%, 200% of clean. It is a contamination free precursors you have selected. Uh, in this selection, so in this, after you can select it, metal hydrates, hydrates, keep it one side, and another beaker metals, either acetate, metal nitrates, metal chlorides, you have selected. Afterwards, mixing of both this. Afterwards, mixing of both this. So at the time of mixing, you can add look like of your volumetric look like of your volumetric experiments. Add drop wise and stir more. So it is at the time it is allowed to the precipitation started also. If not started also, slowly you mixing the both anion and cation ions um, solutions. So at the time mixing is also making slow, stirring rate is more. Later I will tell why it is using of this method to forming the precipitations. Precipitations means creations of the solid from the dissolved solutions. So that so you can slowly you can do it and keep on adding. After this completely mixation is over, again it is adding of either sodium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide, or sodium carbonates drop wise also to maintain the pH also, to maintain both of concentration of other solutions also you can maintain, and slowly of sodium dioxide, sodium hydroxide, stir rapidly. The rate of constant of stirring is also important. So then it is take 1 or 5 or 10 minutes, slowly starting of nucleation, slowly starting of nucleation, followed by the growth of the nucleus. We can call it as growth of growthing stage. First stage is forming the nucleus. Second stage is growth formations. So finally, it is after 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes, almost precipitation as over, it is settled at the bottom. So this is the process. Everyone you can know it also. It is a precipitation method. But here, what is the speciality is there? Slowly adding of either sodium hydroxide or sodium carbonate, rating speed is constant, concentration is also you can estimate it, and you prepare the solutions. Then it is pH is also very excellently maintained. So if it is beyond that, if it is anything, it is we have not followed the theoretical calculation or estimation, we don't get the nanoparticles. So far, it is adding of sodium hydroxide slowly, initiation of nucleation. Nucleation means starting of atoms. Then it is atoms are joined, coagulations of atoms making into the cluster. That clusters are making into these particles. The particles making into the powders. Then it is making into the as a, it is powder stage is a third stage. Next is a crystal stage is fourth. and you can molding into anything also. Fifth stage. In this first stage, the formation of the nucleus is important. If it is rapidly adding of sodium hydroxide, it is rapidly forming of nucleus, and growth is also rapidly forming. Finally, after precipitation has formed, it is burst out. At the time, you won't get the precipitation sizes is not under the nanoparticle sizes. So far, slowly adding of the sodium hydroxide, constant stirring, maintain the concentration of the both the solution, whether it is cations or anions or any other reagents you can adding, you can maintaining everything is under the limited condition, under the studying conditions. The nucleus is slowly formed, followed by growth is taken place, slowly formed of everything, followed by one stage. Afterwards, you can stop adding of sodium hydroxide. That is, we can call it as saturation conditions. What is this saturation solutions? For example, take 100 ml of water. In that 100 ml of water, you can take 100 grams of sodium chloride. You can add one drop to the droplet crystal to that. You stir well. Keep on adding of sodium chloride. It is completely dissolved. At one certain stage, the dissolved salt has stopped. If you can still more, you are adding the sodium chloride, it is not dissolved in the water. Wherever it is stopped to dissolved condition, that condition we can call it as saturated solution. This is saturated solution, saturated condition. Afterwards, you can filter and take it out. Instead of that, you can heat it. Heat the 100 grams of sodium chloride solutions, heat it. Again, you keep on adding and keep on stirring of sodium chloride salts. It will take either 150 grams or 200 grams. That condition of the solutions, we can call it as a super saturation solution. One is saturated solution, super saturated solution. Here also, you keep on adding of sodium hydroxide until the saturation. Afterwards, you can heat it, keep on adding of the sodium chloride, but should maintain the concentration and all the parameters of the experiment. And finally, you can get it as super saturated condition. You got it at a time, stop it. Everything is you can good. At the time, you can filter it, you can remove the that precipitate from this solution. Afterwards, you can wash with water, then you can dried up. So afterwards, again it is subjected to the calcination. By this adding of this calcination, heating up to this 800 900 degrees centigrade, before this melting point, or even melting point also no problem, all the counter ions are passed out, so all the impurities are passed out. Whatever you can get the substance, it is solid particles, solid powders, that is under the uh, precipitate, that is under the nano sizes. For this, you can selection of copper, iron, aluminum, zirconium, any of these metals you can using this also. For this as completed. So afterwards, so this one more example is you can prepare also. This has done in this we can precipitation, all those things after the 1980s. Nanoparticles we can synthesize. Of course, in the 1857, the with that name is Michael Faraday has prepared the gold catalyst. That is a gold precipitation as prepared. So because this selection of precursors, it is purity, everything is important, making the parameters. So afterwards, any of these, if you want to make it metal sulfides, you can react it with the hydrogen sulfide. If you want only the metal, so if it is any containing of its oxides also, you can remove. If you want metal oxides, you can prepare. So like this, so we have to following of this preparation of the nanoparticles by precipitation method. What we have given in the notes, this diagram, you have to write very neatly explained, and advantage it is easiest as everything, everyone is you have to select it also. So as the same way we can do it. We can do it preparation of or synthesis of nanomaterials. This is the precipitation method. First one is sol gel method, second one is a precipitation method. I think we have to follow, so understanding of all the points, also how you prepare the nanoparticles by sol gel methods, how you prepare these nanoparticles by precipitation method. The third one is it's a very simplest also, and it is very excellent also. So for this third method is chemical vapor deposition. So it is mistakenly printing of chemical vapor condensation. You remove that word condensation. It is that method is also there. That method is required three chambers. One is a reacting chamber, another one is precursor chamber, another chamber is using of scrapers and using of the cold fingers also. You have to following this. Here instead of that, only one chamber is there. That chamber is there in the diagram. So in that, so both the sides we have collected the electrodes. So here filled in that chamber, it is filled with this nitrogen gases, nitrates. Only gases you can fill it, increasing temperature for vapor condition. So for this, if you selected this any of these metals under the vapor, so far before you can entering into this reaction chambers, the whatever you selected the precursors, that is silicon carbide, silicon germanium, or this all these carbon families remainings, you can mix it also. But you can the you changing from solid to the vaporous states, whatever you can take means the non-metals, metals also you can take it as metallites, also you can take it as but the precursor should be enter into the reactor chamber only under the vaporization conditions, vapor conditions. So far we have mentioned as chemical vapors deposition. So chemical vapors you have selected of zirconium or molybdenum, or even we can selections of what is we can call it as carbonyls, nano in the along with titanium, titanium nitrides, titanium chlorides, all these things you making conversion into as the gaseous conditions with 200%, not even 200% in this 0.0001 also. Very pure gases are entered into the reaction chamber, allow them to this reacted. This nitrogen is, it is only the carrying gases, it should not react it under these conditions. So these both this, it is high performance you making into this any of these precursors allot the so the mixing with that, then it is the forming into that on the substrate you can settle. There is a thin film as formed of these carbide nitrides of any of these other things also. It is completely um, deposited on that state. Any flue gases are there along with the nitrogen, you can separate it. So after separated, whatever the thin film you want, if that thin films you can remove it and you can use it for any of the purposes. For this you can using of silicon, germanium, tungsten, silicon carbide, silicon nitride, silicon oxynitride, titanium, all those things very excellent. These nanoparticle sizes of small films, it is having more than 100 times of stronger than metals, any metals you can take any metals, that much of stamina, that much of reliability, that much of free from all the stresses. So all this type of very exclusive, very high hard strengths of sp2 hybridization you can making into the states, making into the ball, making into any of your fabrications. But It is you can use it for your bulletproof jackets also. Like that, it is completely having the lot of the strength, reliability, as well as scalability also. So these type of nanoparticles, nano sheets, we can using for our desired purposes. It is easier also, but it is we can use it for preparation of manufacturing of thin sheets, layers, and then it can using for our convenience purposes. So totally today's of discussion is preparation of nanomaterials by Solgel method, by precipitation method, and by chemical vaporization, chemical vapor deposition. In the condensation, so you can separately three chambers. Here first chamber is everything is making into the making into this what we can call it as a gaseous vapor status. Then it is entered into this reaction chamber. Afterwards you can free from all any of the other reactions, any counter ions you can separate it. You can deposit it on substrate. You remove the substrate, and you can use for your own purposes. This is the thin films we can use it. So let me start on tomorrow remaining topics in the this unit. Okay, thank you.
ಇಪ್ಪತ್ತೆರಡು
ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಇವತ್ತೇನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ